I was the lover of a mafia boss. After Liam Johnson was executed by firing squad, I traveled back to his 18-year-old self. Finding the injured teenager Liam in an alley, I pinned him against the wall and kissed him. If you dare fight again, I'll kiss you raw. 3 years after Liam's execution, my own time ran out. I hadn't meant to follow him in death. I'd simply miscounted my sleeping pills. I just desperately wanted proper rest. Unexpectedly, I woke up in 2010. This year, my father hadn't yet gone bankrupt. Everyone still called him Boss Miller. This year, I remained a carefree, free-spending rich kid. This year, I didn't know Liam Johnson. Liam had once told me he attended a high school, a dump so terrible I'd never even heard its name. Holding me in his arms after intimacy, 30-year-old Liam would smoke lazily. There were many dark alleys behind that school. I used to fight there, never lost. The 30-year-old Liam had tempered his sharp edges, burying his wildness deep beneath civilized manners. He smiled when speaking to anyone, never raising his voice, let alone throwing punches. The mature Liam was both commanding and gentle, far removed from youthful recklessness. We met too late. I never witnessed his tumultuous youth. Hoarsely, I'd whispered, "I wish I could have seen it." Liam had chuckled, massaging my neck. "Better not, little prince. It would have scared you off." Yet here I stood, facing 18-year-old Liam. True to his word, he might never lose fights, but that didn't mean he emerged unscathed. Visiting the back alleys of that school on a whim, I found battle-wounded Liam, buzzcut, black tea, sweat and soap scent mingling, leaning against the brick wall with a steel pipe at his feet. He panted heavily, a cigarette dangling from his split lips. "What are you staring at?" he snarled, lingering fury in his eyes. "TSK. So fierce." Crouching before him, I studied his moonlit face. "Can't I look? 3 years you left me. 3 years of sleepless nights. Can't I look now?" Mistaking my gaze for challenge, Liam growled. "Looking for a beating, pretty boy?" Every muscle screamed danger. Exactly the terrifying presence that might have intimidated my younger self. But I wasn't 18. I was 38. The widower Liam had cherished for a decade. His glare meant nothing now. All battered and still causing trouble. I pressed his bruised cheekbone. "Does this hurt?" "Fuck." Liam jerked back, smacking my hand away. "Got a death wish? Keep touching me and you'll regret it." My eyebrows lifted. How novel. The man who once clung to me 24/7 now recoiled from contact? Liam struggled upright, limping away without another word. His left leg was clearly giving him trouble. I steadied him and asked, "Did you injure your leg? Come to the hospital with me." Liam pushed me away, eyes wary and fierce. "Stop bothering me. Get lost." He shoved me hard enough that I nearly stumbled. I chuckled darkly. In 3 strides I had him pinned against the wall, gripping his jaw as I crushed my mouth against his, biting hard enough to draw blood. Interesting. Gets into fights, gets hurt, then acts like some wounded beast when helped. Snarling, pushing, cursing. Since that mouth couldn't form decent words, better silence it with mine. The effect was immediate. Liam froze, eyes wide, breath trapped in his throat until his face flushed crimson. Alright, he's 18, still a rookie who's never even been properly kissed. I released him, patting his cheek. "Breathe." He gulped air like a drowning man. Where was all that ferocity from earlier? I mocked, thumb brushing his swollen lower lip. "Say another harsh word. I dare you." Liam glared silently. "Hospital." I repeated. "No." He gritted out. I leaned in, letting my lips graze his. He jerked back like he was scorched, shouting hoarsely, "Keep harassing me and I'll punch your teeth in." I suppressed a laugh. "Hospital?" This time, his silence meant surrender. Supporting him toward the taxi stand, I advised, "Next time you want to fight, call me first." Liam sneered. "Do I know you? Who gave you authority over me? What even are you?" "Jason, your future husband." I shot him a sidelong glance. "Fight behind my back again. I'll kiss you until your lips are raw." "Psycho," he muttered, turning away. "What was that?" "Nothing," he snapped, ears turning pink. The X-ray showed a minor fracture. After they casted his leg, I summoned our family driver. You're staying at my place. Just met and you're inviting me home? Liam scoffed. Not creepy at all. I raised an eyebrow. Scared? Of you selling me off? He retorted. I barked laughter. What value do you have? The words hung cruelly between us. Dead mother. Runaway father. Empty pockets. This boy owned nothing but his reckless life. Hence the death wish. Exactly why he'd later become. Liam flinched as if struck. I ruffled his prickly buzzcut. You need care until the cast comes off. My home. Then freedom. Deal? How do you know I live alone? His eyes narrowed like a cornered wolf. Clever pup. I grinned shamelessly. Because I've been watching you. No, your underwear's black. Your rent's overdue. And you eat instant noodles 3 meals daily. Liam's jaw dropped. What color then? Black. His stunned expression was worth every lie. Fuck. Liam pondered the situation all the way home. After getting out of the car, he said coldly, Hey, I'm not into guys. Don't waste your time on me. Supporting him as we walked home, Jason argued stubbornly. Then why didn't you push me away when I kissed you earlier? Letting me kiss you that long. You playing hard to get? Not wanting to hear his excuses, Jason interrupted. Were my lips soft? You soft or not? Blocked twice. Liam finally snapped. That's irrelevant. Stop changing the subject. TCH. Jason rubbed Liam's crimson earlobe. Quit pretending you didn't enjoy it. You probably came in your pants when I kissed you. Liam stiffened at Jason's touch, breathing heavily as he pulled away. Just shut up already, he growled through clenched teeth. Jason hid a smile. The 30-year-old Liam might outsmart him, but this 18-year-old version was putty in his hands. With Jason's father away on business, he skipped preparing the guest room and took Liam straight to his bedroom. While Liam showered, Jason leaned against the bathroom door teasing. Hey, how's the leg? Need help washing? Doctor said no water contact. A thud and suppressed groan interrupted him. Jason's eyelid twitched as he barged in. Liam. The teenager stood gripping the wall, tendons bulging in his neck. Slipped. No big deal. He grimaced. Jason's gaze traveled over Liam's naked form. Though leaner than his future muscular build, Liam's 18-year-old frame already showed promise. Broad shoulders tapering to a narrow waist. Golden skin marred by scattered scars Jason knew would multiply over time. Jason's chest tightened, remembering how he'd later trace those battle marks with his lips. Closing the door behind him, Jason stepped into the steam. Put your hands on my shoulders, he instructed, grabbing the shower head. Liam's brows furrowed. I can, stubborn mule. Jason forcibly positioned Liam's hands and began washing him, carefully avoiding his injured leg. His fingers lingered on a jagged scar. I hate seeing you hurt. Stop getting injured. Tilting his head back, Liam grabbed Jason's wrist hoarsely. Just wash properly. Stop seducing me. Following Liam's gaze downward, Jason smirked and tapped the showerhead against Liam's abs. Not into guys. Huh? Your little friend seems eager to prove otherwise. Avoiding eye contact, Liam buried his burning face in Jason's shoulder. Stop talking. Liam's neck flushed crimson. This pure version was too easy. Nipping Liam's earlobe, Jason whispered, Want me to help with that? When Liam remained silent, Jason sighed. Baby steps. As he moved to leave, Liam's ragged breathing froze him in place. Process text with replacements and translation. Liam probably thought I wanted to leave. He suddenly grabbed my wrist, tightened his arm around my shoulders, and pulled me into his embrace, half his body pressing against mine. Please, he pleaded hoarsely. That bath lasted 2 hours. I made Liam sleep with me. Having just been disciplined, he didn't object. The bed was large enough for us to occupy separate sides. After a long silence, I asked, Liam, would you hit me if I held you while sleeping? Would. I chuckled and turned sideways to embrace him from behind. His body stiffened momentarily but didn't resist. I gradually tightened my arms. Tighter, then tighter still. This way, he couldn't escape, couldn't abandon me alone anymore. When I turned 25, my father went bankrupt. He leapt from his company's rooftop, leaving me a corpse and astronomical debts. To repay them, I begged everywhere, shedding all dignity. At business dinners, I drank until blacking out, forcing smiles for strangers. Liam happened to attend one such event. Later, as I vomited against a tree, Liam handed me bottled water. Need money? Rinsing my mouth. I grinned. Desperately. He nodded. Can you sleep with men? Depends on the price. Extinguishing his cigarette, Liam laughed. Perfect. I've got money to burn. Perfect indeed. Liam cleared my debts. I slept with Liam for 10 years. Then Liam died. Before dying, he left me funds, saying, Jason, never trade sex for money again. You'll meet scoundrels. During my final visit, his smile cracked with red-rimmed eyes. Regrets. Had I known I'd meet you, I'd have lived virtuously for longevity. Jason, I worry. He never finished. Only said, Jason, live well. His thumb brushed the glass partition like wiping my tears. Foolish boy. Being some hidden lover actually made you care? Pathetic. Don't cry. I'm not worth it. Worth? That wasn't Liam's call. The coward had kept matching rings over his heart till death, never daring to show them. Reborn. I have one purpose, grant Liam a full century. Save him. Prevent his descent into organized crime's dead end. Since he disregards life, I'll treasure it for him. If he won't plan futures, I'll chart them. Drag him from the abyss. Wrench him onto righteous paths. I remember Liam's final regret. Not deathbed remorse. Long-buried yearnings only voiced when time evaporated. Liam loved hearing about my college days. Never attended. He'd say, wrong turns early. No U-turns later. Who doesn't crave clean hands? But survival comes first. Jason, in my youth, no one guided me. This time, I'll grip his hand. Show the way. Achieve everything he secretly wanted. After sheltering Liam, I secretly transferred to Changhua Academy. At noon enrollment, the teacher lectured while Liam napped face down in the front row by the trash can. I slipped beside him, borrowing a textbook from his desk. When I opened the notebook, holy crap! The pages were whiter than my face, without even a name written on them. The moment the class bell rang and the teacher left, I kicked Liam's chair hard. The commotion was so loud it instantly silenced the noisy classroom. The chubby kid in front nimbly leaped 2 meters away, eyeing Liam, who was barely conscious. New kid, I suggest you run now unless you want to die. Guess Liam's reputation for being fierce preceded him. I politely smiled at the chubby kid. Thanks for the heads up. Then turned and kicked Liam's chair again. Chubby kid. TSK. Liam stirred, throwing a textbook at me without looking up. Get lost. He growled irritably, turning to sleep facing the other direction. I caught the book and kicked his chair once more. Fuck. Are you done yet? Liam finally sat up, glaring coldly, then froze. After staring at me for a long moment, he leaned back against the wall, rubbing his face. Still dreaming, he muttered. I threw the textbook at him. Awake now? Liam. When the class bell rang again, Liam whispered. Why are you here? Transferred schools. He frowned. Why? Your old school was decent. This shithole's academic quality is garbage. To chase you. What? Leaning closer, I whispered in his ear. Transferred to chase you. Liam pushed my forehead away with his index finger, sneering. I hate lovey-dovey couples the most. Then emotionlessly added. Jason, go back to your own school. The English teacher finally snapped. Liam, take your new desk, mate, and get out if you want to flirt. Liam. Me. Covered my face. So embarrassing. That shout made me instantly infamous, now permanently known as the wild transfer student making out with Liam. When I yanked Liam awake for the 3rd time to force him to study, the chubby kid's expression shifted from horror to admiration, secretly giving me a thumbs up. New kid. You're legendary. Meanwhile, Liam's irritation was practically steaming from his scalp. I pointed at the textbook. Mark this section. He hissed through clenched teeth. Don't think your crush on me gives you free rein. I side-eyed him. Right now, unless you want me to kiss you in class. Liam. After enduring my torture all afternoon, Liam bolted from his seat the instant the bell rang, hopping awkwardly on one leg toward the door. I grabbed his shirt hem. Where? Bathroom. I'll come. He refused quickly. No need. I slung an arm around him. Let me help, you're limping. Liam raised an eyebrow, repeating slowly. Help me? He bit his cheek, smirking, sure. Pausing, I suddenly caught his drift and grinned. This bastard's been trouble since day one. But when I actually reached for his waistband to assist, Liam grabbed my wrist. He hissed, "The fuck? You serious?" Liam Johnson pinched my hand, his ears turning red as he lowered his head. My bad, bro. I'll handle it myself. Don't want your hands getting dirty. I scratched his abdomen with a knowing smirk. 30 vocabulary words every night. That's the price for mercy. Liam hesitated. Don't push your luck. My fingers trailed downward. He grabbed my wrist sharply, breathing hard through flared nostrils. Fine. The words. For 2 weeks, I kept Liam chained to textbooks by day and flashcards by night. The reformed delinquent squirmed like a caged panther, throwing study guides and threatening rebellion. Each tantrum ended with my lips silencing his protests. The 6 feet 2 inches athlete melted beneath me, gasping as I straddled his chest. Study or make out? Your choice. His muscular arm shielded damp eyes while the other anchored me to his heaving chest. Jason. His gravelly voice vibrated against my palm. What's this crusade really about? I pressed closer to his thunderous heartbeat. Ever think about tomorrow? Let's get into the same college. Build something real. Together. Grow old together. Never let go. Silence. Liam stopped brawling, skipped curfews, even nodded at teachers now. His grades jumped from dead last to merely disastrous. The principal tearfully presented me with a Peacekeeper Award, which became instant irony when Liam ditched school that afternoon. I found him near the Johnson family's block, swinging a steel pipe against 6th Street thugs. The idiot's cast was off, but his death wish remained. You promised backup. I grabbed a brick, charging beside him. Goddamn lunatic. Liam abandoned the fight, dragging me through alleys as curses chased us. Wind whipped tears from our eyes. You suicidal moron. He roared over pounding footsteps. We collapsed behind dumpsters, hearts hammering. When I reached for him, Liam froze. Enough games. Jason. Go home. Ice flooded my veins. You think this is a joke? He lit a cigarette against the graffiti-stained wall. What else? Some fairy tale where you fix the broken project? Smoke curled around his hollow smile. Wake up. This isn't some after-school special. Otherwise, I almost wanted to laugh, but couldn't, my eyes reddening with anger. Do you think I'm so fucking bored that I'd come to this shithole to play games with an asshole like you? Am I mentally ill for taking care of your injuries? Did I humiliate myself staying up late making study plans and organizing notes for you? Playing around? You think I'm here pouring my heart out for fun? Liam, even if you're deaf to my confessions, aren't you blind? Can't you see my heart laid bare before you? The cigarette smoke shrouded Liam Johnson's stony face. His voice came low and cold. Jason, do you feel particularly noble and devoted? He snorted. Stop wallowing in self-pity. I froze, my heart constricting. What did you say? I said you're being presumptuous and one-sided. You forced all these expectations on me without asking if I wanted them. Liam laughed harshly, his expression cruel. Study hard. Be a good boy. Fuck that righteous bullshit. If you like straight A students so much, why didn't you find some honor student instead of trying to fix me? We've both suffered for it. I've survived just fine these past 10 years as trash. No need to change. I'm gutter material. Jason. Can't learn. Won't learn. No future here. He flicked ash, eyes downcast. We're different. You want me to stand beside you? I can't. You'll be disappointed. That day, I heard your father's call. Liam's voice roughened. The cigarette finished. He's right, Chester High's garbage. You don't belong here. We're not the same. He'd overheard Jason Miller arguing with his father, smoking 3 cigarettes in the bathroom. The elder Miller wasn't wrong. Chester High was trash. Jason was brilliant. Staying here ruined his prospects, especially associating with Liam. He should have driven the privileged boy away on day one. Had 100 ways to make the sheltered rich kid quit, none used after Jason kissed him. Liam feared Jason's kisses. Not from lack of desire, but overwhelming craving. Enough to make him want to chain the boy down, never let go. When Jason hugged him talking about college together, Liam's blood burned. For a month, he forgot his worth, actually studied, dreamed of shared dorms. Then the debt collectors came. Scar Thompson sneered, "Your rich friend could loan something." Ice flooded Liam's veins. One thought, protect Jason. His life was worthless, but the radiant young master's wasn't. Hating fate, his deadbeat father, and himself, how dare he dream of Jason? Liam's words were vicious, attacking us both. I lost control, punched his stomach 3 times. He took it silently. Enraged, I bit his chin. My school choices aren't yours to make. Our paths aren't yours to decide. When I kissed him, Liam flinched. A slap made him compliant. His face cold, body burning with pretense. The deadened response stoked my fury until anger burned out, leaving clarity. Leaning on Liam Johnson's shoulder, I suppressed my temper and asked, "Speak properly. What's really going on? If Lee didn't like me, I wouldn't believe a word of it. Didn't I know him better than anyone? I was Liam's perfect match. As Lee himself would say, not an inch more, not an inch less. Every curve hits right where it counts. If Lee didn't want me, there wasn't a soul on earth he'd ever want." That confidence came straight from Lee's decade of worshipping the ground I walked on. For the past month, I'd had Liam wrapped around my finger. Even when school stress made him snarl, a few kisses smoothed those ruffled feathers. This sudden cold shoulder meant something was wrong. I figured we could talk it out, but Lee clearly had other plans. "Finished your little meltdown?" he said icily, straightening his rumpled shirt. "Stay at Westwood Prep if you like. You're right, your business isn't mine. But mine isn't yours either." For a week, Liam skipped school, his silent ultimatum that he'd drop out unless I transferred. Before I could fix that mess, Dad returned from his business trip. Our shouting match about transferring schools escalated until I snapped, "Worry less about me and audit the company books." The old man scoffed. "Since when do you understand business? Manage your own mess. How many enemies have you made closing deals? When's the last time you checked for embezzlement? A small leak can sink a great ship. Just look at the damn numbers." He studied me oddly before chuckling. "Since when did you care?" But I saw the wheels turning. Over the following weeks, my hints worked. He started an audit. Turns out the Miller family's empire had cracks. Let's see if Jason's father could handle it this time. 7 years until their bankruptcy anyway. I'd bail them out if needed. When trying to find Lee at school failed, I rented an apartment near the Johnsons. Let him stew first, typical Lee, playing lone wolf with problems. Back in our past life, he'd faced corruption charges alone until the verdict came. This time, I hired a PI. The report came fast. His father defaulted on $3 million in loans and fled. Loan sharks want 20 grand now that they know about his rich friend. Me. That's why Lee pushed me away. The PI refused further work. Your boy spotted me. Nearly got my ass kicked. Fine. If Lee wanted to drown alone in his dangerous security gigs, read club bouncer, he'd have to drag me down with him. I showed up at his bar wearing the most provocative outfit, sheer sweater hanging open, every move calculated. When Liam saw me, he froze for a moment. His gaze sharpened like a honed blade, sweeping over me from head to toe before his brows furrowed deeply. He bit the inside of his cheek but ultimately said nothing. A blonde guy came over to flirt and share our table, his hands wandering over me with deliberate carelessness as he urged me to drink. Later, he pulled out a cigarette and leaned in with a lighter, asking huskily, "Know how to use this?" I leaned forward to catch the cigarette between my lips, reaching for the lighter. Before I could light it, the cigarette was plucked from my mouth. Looking up, I saw Liam holding the moistened filter between his own lips. He tilted his head to light it, took a drag, then crushed it in the ashtray. "He doesn't smoke," he told the blonde flatly, exhaling smoke. His hand gripped the back of my neck as his gaze burned into me. "Had enough fun yet?" Dizzy with intoxication, I grinned at him. Liam's eyes darkened. irritation flashing across his features as he pinched my cheek roughly. Still smiling after this? With brutal force, he yanked me off the barstool. The blonde grabbed my arm. Dude, first come first served here. Liam brushed him off with icy calm. What makes you think you were first? When the guy reached for me again, Liam pulled me behind him, shielding me with his body. His finger jabbed the air like a weapon. Don't fucking move. Touch him again and I'll break every bone in your hand. I mean it. Stay there if you value your face. The entire bar froze under Liam's murderous glare. The blonde stayed rooted as Liam dragged me outside. We crossed several alleys before he slammed me against a brick wall. His teeth found my lips in a punishing kiss, hands shoving under my sweater to knead my chest before sliding lower. The calloused roughness of his construction. Worker hands scraped my skin, equal parts pain and pleasure. I arched backward until my neck screamed in protest. Lips swollen when he finally released me. He mouthed down my throat, growling in frustration at our height difference. Wrapping an arm around my waist, he hitched me up against the wall, thigh pressing between my legs. My broken gasps of Liam only fueled his frenzy. When his teeth closed around my nipple through the sweater fabric, I finally jolted to awareness, slamming my palm against his chest. Liam, stop. We're in public. He lifted his head, pupils blown wide. You came dressed like this to provoke me, he panted, hands splayed possessively over my stomach. Isn't this exactly what you wanted? The words doused me like ice water. What did you say? Stop pretending, he sneered, breath hot against my ear. You've been teasing me all night. Let's give you what you're begging for. The slap echoed down the alley. Liam's head snapped sideways, blood beating at the corner of his mouth. Streetlights reflected in his glacial stare as he wiped the blood away. I turned to leave, but he caught my wrist. Where do you think you're going? None of your business. Fine. He yanked my sweater collar closed with unnecessary force. But if you want to whore around, do it where I can't see you. I laughed coldly. Don't worry. I'll find someone else to fuck right now. His grip turned bone-crushing. For endless seconds, raw fury warred with desperation in his eyes. When he finally spoke, his voice cracked. That's not. I didn't mean. His shoulders slumped, anger dissolving into wretchedness. Today was my fault. Don't take it out on yourself. Go home. Jason, please. The plea emerged ragged. I'm begging you. Just go home. The streetlight caught the sheen in his eyes, a caged beast gnawing its own leg to escape the trap. My chest constricted. God, Jason, you're such an asshole. Why are you treating him like this? He's already in so much pain. Those cruel words he says have to slice through his own heart 1,000 times before they reach you. I hurt, and he hurts too. But if we don't hurt, we'll never learn. I took 2 steps forward, cupped Liam Johnson's face, and kissed his reddened eyelids. Liam, do you really trust me to be alone? Liam shuddered at my touch but stayed silent. I won't survive on my own, really. If you abandon me, I'll do something reckless. I've already lost my mind. If you don't hold me back, I'll kill myself. Jason, Liam rasped, tears spilling. What the hell do you want from me? He glared like he wanted to bury himself in dirt. I'm not worth this. Don't you get it? Why shackle yourself to trash like me? You deserve better, anyone but me. Whether at 18 or 30, penniless or successful, Liam had always believed he wasn't good enough for Jason Miller. So the teenage Liam pushed Jason away. The 30-year-old Liam hid engagement rings in silence. Better? Jason laughed coldly. Liam, will anyone ever treat me better than you? Liam stared before crumpling to his knees, hands clawing at his face. The raw, choked sobs of an 18-year-old boy spilled out, guttural and broken. You're forcing me to stay. God, I can't let go either. After vanishing for 2 months, Liam let Jason drag him back to the school. His grades, once improving, plummeted again. After some discipline, Liam behaved, even taking notes proactively. Jason smiled approvingly until he saw the open textbook. This is math class. Why the hell are you scribbling in your physics book? Liam. But his focus kept slipping. He grew tenser, angrier. First, Jason couldn't figure out why, until he spotted Liam in an alley, flanked by Scar Thompson and other loan sharks, beating a middle-aged man senseless. Liam's expression stayed icy as his fists slammed into flesh. After extracting cash, Scar slung an arm around Liam. Damn, kid. Xander Ford was right, you've got a talent for this. 3 months we chased that deadbeat, but you made him squeal in 5 minutes. Come grab drinks with the crew. Liam shrugged him off, grabbed his backpack, and walked away, busy. Jason trailed him to a public restroom, watching Liam scrub blood from his hands. The boy lingered under Jason's apartment, changed clothes at home, then trudged back with an English textbook, muttering vocabulary the entire way. At the stairwell, he crammed last minute before nailing the pop quiz. Perfect score. Liam smirked as Jason graded the paper. Good. Now do your math homework. Liam's grin died. He leaned in, finger jabbing the quiz. Jason, you forgot something. What? I aced the quiz. A beat. You used to kiss me every time I got full marks. Jason didn't look up from his desk. And now you're lucky I'm not punching you. I slammed the pen down and looked straight at him, deliberately asking, Liam, who's this Xander you mentioned? Waiting for him to confess would take lifetimes. Xander Ford. I knew that name. By then he'd already been chairman of Junbo Group. It was my 3rd year with Liam when that man died. Crushed by Liam's schemes. After his death, Liam dug up Xander's grave, smoked half a pack on the balcony, and joked bitterly. Without him, maybe I could have been decent. When Liam got arrested later, his original crimes weren't capital offenses. The death penalty came from blood on his hands back when Xander forced him to be an enforcer. Not innocent, but Xander Ford had shoved desperate Liam straight into hell. I thought pulling Liam away now could help him avoid Xander. But Liam fooled me. I believed he'd reformed, but it was all an act. Still keeping secrets. Still bearing everything alone. That wreck of a life couldn't handle such burdens. Liam suddenly stood, knocking over his chair. He braced against the backrest, eyes wild with dangerous intensity. Jason, how do you know about him? Did they approach you? Threatened you? I silently held his gaze. He paced the room twice before gripping my face. Words tumbling out, Jay, don't be scared. Go stay at the Miller family estate. They've got drivers, bodyguards. Don't come here anymore. Just, Liam. I steadied his trembling arm. I'm not afraid. The terror was all his. His temple pulsed before he whirled toward the door. I lunged to wrap arms around his waist. Where are you going? To end this. His voice cracked like snapped steel cables. Eyes bloodshot. I gave them everything. Why target you? If this is how they play, we'll all burn. They never contacted me. I saw you with Scar beating people. He froze. Liam, they're using me against you, aren't they? He peeled my hands away hoarsely. You've seen. I've got no future. Just 10 million in debts and endless trouble. Jason, reconsider. Really think this through. The door closed behind him without turning back. Jay, even if you walk away, it's okay. Liam retreated into his shell again. I liquidated my possessions. Pooled 15 years New Year's money, $200. 000 to bargain with Scar for Xander's audience. $200,000 to buy Liam 1 year free, promising full debt repayment within 5. I expected resistance. Contingency plans ready. Instead, Xander jumped at the deal. Bad debt suddenly repayable? No sane loan shark would refuse. To Xander Ford, current Liam wasn't even worth 6 figures. Counting cash, Xander smirked. Told the punk to borrow from you months ago. Debt payments natural order. Yeah. I left his blathering. Sunlight stinging my eyes. Pathetic. $200,000 could solve this. Yet Liam's whole life got destroyed over it. What a fucking joke. On Liam's 3rd no-show, I broke into his apartment. First time seeing Liam's home sparse but orderly, except whiskey bottles littering the floor and the passed-out figure clutching empty liquor. After paying the locksmith, I crouched by the sofa, patting Liam's cheek. Wake up. He blinked drowsily before pulling me into an embrace reeking of bourbon and despair. His strength was overwhelming as he flipped us over, pinning me between him and the couch. His long limbs wrapped around me like steel bands. his stubble scraping against my scalp as he mumbled Jason. Then repeated hoarsely, Jason Miller. Don't go. Don't ignore me. The audacity of the guilty to play victim. Who started the ignoring game? Liam Johnson was clearly delirious, half-drunk, half-burning with fever. His skin scorched to the touch. I pushed at his chest. Liam, let go. You're running a fever. I'll get medicine. The resistance only made him tighten his grip. No, he growled petulantly, then added with drunken pride, I aced my spelling test. His large hands cradled my face as he descended, kissing from my nose to lips, voice gravel rough. Perfect score. Reward me. I realized then that every previous time I'd pushed him away, Liam had allowed it. When he chose not to yield, his strength became terrifying. His feverish mouth trailed down my body, shirt rucked up to my navel before fingers hooked in my waistband. As his kisses grew urgent, I shoved at his shoulders. Liam, you're sick. Wait until... He captured my wrist, pressing kisses to my palm. Not sick. Never better. Liar, he radiated heat like furnace. The idiot collapsed immediately after his amorous crusade. On trembling legs, I forced 2 Tylenol between his lips. Bastard. We'd settle this when he sobered up. Dusk found us awake, Liam smoking by the bed. I lunged, grinding the cigarette tip against my palm. God damn it. He flung the cigarette aside, examining the burn with frantic eyes. Jason Miller, you fucking lunatic. These hands. His tirade died as I kissed him, my fingers curling in his hair. Quit smoking, kid. You'll get emphysema. Instead of retorting, Liam drew my injured finger into his mouth, tongue circling the burn. When I pulled free, he crushed me against him, voice breaking. You'll be the death of me. Liam's 268 SAT score gutted him. When I proposed studying together, he resisted until my persistence wore him down. That year, Liam transformed. Midnight oil burned constantly. I'd find him slumped over textbooks at 3 a.m. Our roles reversed. Now I dragged him from desk to bed. Stop. You'll collapse. I argued during dinner as he nodded off into his soup. Not tired. He'd murmur before capturing my protests with kisses. After one particularly vicious fight, Liam traced my cheekbone, eyes hollow from exhaustion. Jason, I can't fail you. Our college promise. I need to be worthy. If it has to be me, let me become your best option. Fool. He'd always been the best. When I turned 35, translation continues following same substitution pattern for all names and familial terms. Liam Johnson had made a name for himself. Even my father couldn't stop praising him. 30. Liam was ambitious yet approachable, that rare combination of steel and velvet. On August 7th, torrential rains battered the city. I awoke trembling from a nightmare of Liam's tombstone, my face pressed against rain-streaked windows until the creak of our bedroom door startled me. There stood Liam, drenched and heaving like he'd run through hurricanes, his eyes bloodshot rubies in the pale moonlight. Weren't you on that business trip? I stammered. He crossed the room in 3 strides, crushing me against his rain-chilled shirt. Jason, he choked against my neck, warm tears mingling with the rainwater. My Jason, you've endured so much. Suddenly the dam broke. I clawed at his soaked collar, sobbing uncontrollably. Liam, I dreamed you died. His arms tightened like forged iron. Never. I'll live to be 100 with you. Jason, I swear on my life. The storm outside faded to white noise as our shared warmth melted the nightmare away.